Hey guys, it's Linda Denise from On Demand Resources. So I'm sure you've heard by now that unemployment is going to be cut off. Not completely, but the additional money that people are using to turn up, go on vacations, is being cut off once again. They've cut it off several times from 600 to 300 to 200. So you'll probably be going back to that 175 or whatever amount you were getting without the additional money on top of it. But I'm sure panic is starting to set in, right? You're like, oh, I should have been looking for a job all this time. A lot of people were hoping that they could just live forever on unemployment, which is not logical either. But luckily for you, there are 10 million jobs available and 6 million people unemployed. So there is room for you to get a job. Not just one, probably 2, 3, 4. That's a little unhealthy, but you'll be able to get something. But you want to get a job before they start cutting off them signing bonuses that they were telling people they had. And I mean, it was quite tempting. Like, people have really raised their minimum wage up to draw you in. $13, $14, $15, like amounts that were unheard of. Now, probably prior to COVID and them not being able to even pay somebody just to step in the door, they're now willing to pay you, right? So perfect timing. So what you might want to start doing is downloading the Indeed app on your phone. Start looking at your resume. You want to dust it off, look at it, see what you want to put on there. Now, here's the hairy part. A lot of people like to leave jobs off their resume, right? That may be fine and well because you can leave jobs off your resume if they do not pertain to the job that you are applying to. But you must be careful because now you're creating a gap in your employment. And depending on what type of job you're applying for, they want you to explain your gaps. Most jobs ask, can you please explain your gaps? Like, why do you have months in between? And that may be school. Like, you don't want to get caught up in, oh, I gotta lie. If you're in school, use that. If you're volunteering somewhere, hey, I was unemployed, but I still was doing something. I was active. They don't just want to hear that you were, sitting there marinating on the couch and eating oodles and noodles all day. So you want to make sure that you fill that information in. And you don't want to get caught up by leaving information off your resume, because when the background check comes up, depending on what organization it is, whether it be government, city, state, they get a little more intricate with their background check. Some use this background check system called Equip, which is very technical. So even if you leave a period off, sometime it'll kick it back. If it's a wrong phone number, if you don't put something. So you want to make sure that you get all the contact information for these businesses. If they're closed, make sure they're closed so that they can't go and find that information and make you out to be a liar like you just were omitting information. So you want to definitely see if they have a Facebook page, see if they have an Instagram page. If you know somebody else that worked there, reach out to them and try to get some information. Make sure that your dates are right. You don't want to lie. Don't say you worked there longer than you did and all that kind of stuff, because oftentimes they will call and verify, and that's still omitting information, or that you are just a liar. You just don't want to be a liar. Like, once they go and investigate you, like if it's government, they don't mind calling somebody, your references, and ask about you. So be careful when you're doing that. So your resume. If you are looking at your resume and you're seeing things and not matching up, or you just don't have a lot of employment altogether, start reaching out to people. If you have helped them, see if they'll give you a reference letter. Don't be afraid if you only have one job on there, don't have a lot of experience, because that can be fixed. You can always even turn a cashier into something that sounds glorious, because you still do a lot. Oftentimes we tend to forget what we did at these jobs that was not always in a job description. Be optimistic. Just, know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. If you did not save that extra money you were getting and live like you never were getting it, then yeah, you may be sensing some trouble. But I feel like they've given a lot of resources out for people to be able to put in a tuck. So when it stopped, you're not looking white around the lips, wondering what to do. I got to get a job tomorrow. What am I going to do? I don't got nothing to wear for interview. And if you smoke marijuana, listen clearly, right? If you smoke marijuana, some places is legal, some places is not. I'm not judging you, and your job shouldn't either, but who am I, right? So make sure that you clean your urine. Give yourself some time. Give yourself about 30, 45 days if you actively try and go on interviews, if you actively try and get employment, because here's the thing. You can get a cleanse, but now, like SEPTA, they are testing for the cleanse. So you just want to be careful because that does go in your records. Some places can pull it up in your background. And just don't be deceitful. Like, I think that, it just creates this tension that doesn't need to be there. You yourself start sweating, start giving a sense that you just are just not an honest person. So, you don't want to give that idea from the beginning. Start putting a little money away to get you an outfit. People have court suits but don't have interview outfits and clothes. And you want to make sure that you, grab a couple outfits along the way in case you have to wear something business casual. You just always want to be ready because the person could say, hey, I enjoyed your interview. Thank you for coming by. Can you start tomorrow? Actually, can you start tonight? Which is, they ain't even found nothing else about you, but they may say, we need you sooner than later because we're short. I mean, literally, people are starting jobs. They may work a day or so or work till they get the first check and they bounce. And the catch with the signing bonuses is a lot of these jobs want you to stay 90 days at least because they want to make sure that they get some labor out of you and are able to use you before they pay you out. So keep that in mind. If you're a person that just up and quit jobs, you like, this job ain't it, I'm bouncing, then you may have a lot more explaining to do in your background checking on your resume because now you don't have long employment times, like, durations. Like, you got a lot of gaps, you just bounce. And as an adult, it's just not a good practice. Like when you was younger, when your mom was taking care of you, still was living at home, you getting a little pocket change, it might have been cool. Yes, I don't agree that it's healthy, but it might have been cool back then because you had a little backup plan. But as an adult, like if you're, over 18, I give you leaving a little room to 21. But if you like 21 and up, quitting, everything you did was just not good. Now you got to start explaining stuff. You start getting with other people. And now you have to be a little transparent with them because it's nothing like having bad credit or something else. And then y'all trying to get a house or y'all trying to build with each other. And these things start coming out. Or you can't get no job. And then you like, hey, I forgot to tell you I got this on my record. Never dealt with it in the time that you probably should have dealt with if you could get it expunged or things like that. You just moving strange. Like, nobody got time for that. And you don't want to end your relationship or mess up relationships because you just weren't honest. Like, I think you get more bees with honey if you're honest with people. Give them the chance to make the decision. Don't make the decision for them. Because now, after, you're done spilling it all out, you expect them to just be okay. And you'll know how people going to react. I think, tell people in the beginning what's going on. Let them know they may have some resources and know somebody who can, work some things out. And don't expect everybody to accept what you got going on either. Like, people are at liberty to be kind of like, yeah, you know what? That's a little different for me. That's not something I could take on. And be honest with yourself if you can take it on. I know you may like somebody, but you got to love yourself first. You got to love yourself. You got to respect yourself. And you got to have set boundaries for what you're okay with and not okay with. And if you say, yeah, you're allowed to come back later and, say that, but it's better to just let them know up front how you're feeling, what's going on. And I know that's easier said than done, but life is about growth. So, you'll get there. You'll get there one day. And if you can't say it verbally, you can always send them a text, which I think text can sometimes come off wrong. But you can always send a letter as well. Like, I know that's a little archaic, but it works too. So now let's go with figuring out how you're going to get there. So after you worked out, you done dust off your resume, you got you something to wear, you cleaned your urine if that needs be. Now you need to make sure you at least have a ride to get back to interviews, because you could put all these job applications in, right? And then somebody call you immediately and you shocked, like, dang, they called me. I just put the application in 5 minutes ago. That's how quickly people are looking, but you got to be able to get there. So start reaching out to people now. Hey, you know what? I'm actively looking for jobs. I probably will need to get to these jobs. I know that Lyft also has a program where if you are looking for employment, they do have a program where they will pay for you to go to the interview. They'll pay for you to go to programs. And I also think that they will pay for you to get back and forth to the program until you get your first check. So I think that that's an outlet as well. If you need to take public transit, make sure you get your key card. Don't be the one on there swiping a key card that has nothing on it, because it's embarrassing. You getting on there and you want to ask every day. And one thing's for sure, working in transportation, bus drivers and attendants and conductors remember you. They remember everybody. So don't think that they don't, because they do usually. And then the people who don't pay usually cause a little havoc on there. And, people tend to get mad at bus drivers because they like, it ain't your job. It ain't your money. Why you care if I don't pay? It does affect them. While it's not coming out of their pocket, after the 30th person, you get a little burnt out because everybody else, people are getting on and they're not paying. Now, I will tell you this. There is a program that pays for a certain amount of people, but you don't do that every day. You may do it Monday, Tuesday you still working on it, but you still shouldn't be asking for a ride Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because you should have prepared for that before you were doing this. And getting on telling you just got out of jail and all that kind of stuff, it just doesn't work, because just like you about to go to your job and do your job, they got a job to ask you to pay or be respectful. So I hope you found this video helpful. I just wanted to touch base and let you know and give you an update about the job market, because it's about to be jumping. Trust me. Once these jobs is gone, which I foresee them going like very quickly, you're going to want to be ready. Don't wait till the last minute to be trying to look for a job and you expect everybody else to help you and chip in and take money out their pocket on a dime because you asked and you mad because you didn't prepare. I warned you. I told you what was going to happen. And, you'll start seeing people complain again about being broke. And that's because they didn't prepare. They didn't put money in the tuck. And keep this in mind. Again, that money that you had, if you do have a little bit left, you can also start gearing up to find other ways to make money. You might have side hustles. See what it takes, if it's worth turning them into a business, or use the things that you're already doing. A lot of people got things they could sell at their house using like Poshmark and OfferUp and all those other things. You can sell it on eBay. Using what you have. Like, you don't gotta go fishing on a fishing expedition to figure out how to make money. If you cook, I'm not saying go, bust down, make all these platters and everything, but you do want to be strategic in what you're doing. All them people that got them food stamps, yes, you can make money. Go buy you some food, enough to make some meals, right? Get them platters, get maybe meal prep or something like that. Make sure your area is clean when you're doing that, though. Or collab with some people. You kind of could do maybe an exchange and things like that. I ain't saying just go clear your whole food stamp card off, but, there are ways to do things if you, figure out what you're good at. Get you a journal, figure it out, to plan your thoughts out. And just get moving, get rocking. Stay optimistic, and protect yourself from COVID. The variant is still out there. I know some people may beg to differ. And if you haven't got vaccinated, I ain't the one telling you to get vaccinated, but figure out what you want to do. And if you're not getting vaccinated, still protect yourself. I know people don't like wearing these masks, but you want to live long, to see your kids get older, your parents, and just to live a healthy life. So, thank y'all for watching.